Yeah. Okay. So I see one or two people more have joined us now. Um, Dear teachers, welcome to session 6 of Phonics to Meaning. What an exciting opportunity to learn more about how we can use rhyme and how we can decide which words to use to teach the different aspects of phonics to the learners in our classrooms. So today's session, we will once again have Prof. Mary Jo Fresch from the Ohio State University joining us on video. She really tried her best to be here in person today, but yeah, I'm so sorry that wasn't a wasn't didn't work out, and she won't be able to join us. But I'm sure that you used your participant materials that we send out to you, that you had a good look at those. So today we're going to look at a number of rhyme families, and we're also going to discuss how do we choose the right words to teach phonics in our classrooms. And before we start with the video today, I just want to give you just a final reminder, please, to share with us what is happening in your classrooms. And also, if you haven't joined Dr. Sam's blog yet, I know that link is available in all of your emails. Please do that. And also, Prof. David Kearns, our poet, if you can also join his blog, I know the links to his blog is also available on your material that you have received from us from the office. And then finally, please do remember to complete those questionnaires. As soon as you have watched the video, whether you catch up on it later or once you've completed watching that and worked through your module, your participant materials, please do complete those for us. Remember, this is not only a training opportunity, but we're also doing a bit of research. And so we really want to hear from you, from our teachers that are participating. How is this impacting, and what have you learned, and what is of value to you in your classroom? Okay, so I think I'm going to start. Let me just see how to share my screen with you. And we'll be starting with our video. All right. There we go. Okay.
Welcome back for our next session with the Phonics Handbook. I thought today we would go over choosing words for study. The kinds of words we pick for our students are important for them to be able to dig in and learn the sounds and the patterns of English. So the kinds of words we teach, they actually fall within 3 tiers. The first tier are those everyday words. We might hear them daily in conversation. House, run, happy, all words that are pretty familiar to the students. Those are easier for them to then decode and to encode or write because they're familiar with the sounds of the language. The tier 2 have high usage, but they appear in different kinds of text and are less often in everyday conversations, like fortunate, beyond. And then there's tier 3 that are very subject specific. So photosynthesis, formulate, and it'll be a while before we get to those. Let me go back to the onsets and rhymes. If you remember last session, I told you about Wiley and Durrell. These are in the book. In 1970, they found these rhyme families, or they called them phonograms, that provide stability in learning the vowel sounds. And that with those 37 rhymes, we can make over 500 primary words. So they're very, very useful for teaching students the patterns of the language because we use them for both decoding or reading and encoding or writing. So here's this chart, and you're looking across it, and you're thinking, okay, I see all 37. What about them? Well, let's look at some applications. There are 6 short A rhymes. So that tells you short A does have pretty high frequency in the English language. We have ack, an, ank, ap, ash, and at. When you see these in the book, the first column are those tier 1 words, the ones we're more likely to use in our language. So back and quack and sack. The second column are a little more complex. They have the onset that is maybe a digraph or a blend. So we have words like snack, where we are blending across the SN to get the word. And we have ban and can and fan. But when we add the onset of digraphs or blends, we get words like slant and spam. We have ank, which is words like bank, my husband Hank. And then we add the more complex digraphs and blends. So we have words like frank and stank and thank, one of those digraphs. App, cap, nap. But let's add the digraph ch and have chap. Let's add the blend SL, slap. With ash, we have dash and cash. But when we add blends or digraphs, we get these words in the second column, splash. The at, cat, fat, mat. But again, let's add SL, slat, SPL, splat. The short E rhymes L and est. So we have bell and fell. We have the name Nell. But again, we're adding the more complex onsets, and we can have spell and smell. Est, we have best, pest, nest. We have chest. So we have fewer of those EST words at the high level, but look how many we have at the primary level. There are a lot of short I rhymes, and that tells us it's useful to teach that short I sound. We have ick, ill, in, ing, ink, ip, it. So we have kick and lick, but now we can add the CL, click, the SL, slick, ill, bill, fill, gill. Let's add a digraph, chill. We can add SP, spit, spill. In, we have bin and din and fin, but we can add the sh digraph, shin, ing, ding, king, ring. We add the onsets that are digraphs or blends, bling, swing. Ink, we have link and pink. We add blends and digraphs. We have drink, we have shrink. The ip, dip, lip, sip. Then we have the second column of chip, skip, snip, and it, bit, fit, sit. And the second column, grit, skit. There are 3 short O rhymes, ock, op, ot. So we have dock, block, but we have clock. We have shock. The op, we have hop and pop. Add the digraph chop. Add the digraph shop. Ot, cot, jot, not. We have the digraph shot. We can add SP, spot. Short U rhymes, uck, ugh, unk. We have luck and duck. We have shuck and snuck, ugh, bug, hug. But then we have glug and plug and shrug, we have bump, jump, but we add the onsets of rhymes to the rhyme with blends or digraphs. We have chump, we have stump, we have unk with dunk and hunk, and then we have the chunk, we have the shrunk and trunk. We have 7 long A rhymes, ale, ain, ache, ale, aim, ate, and a. So we have hail and nail, but we add those onsets, frail and trail. Ain, we have main and pain and rain. Look, all of the words we can add onsets to the ain rhyme. Ache, bake, and make. And again, we've got a lot of words that we add the onset to. Ale, bale, and male, and pale. And actually, it's interesting. Take that pale, A-L-E, and look over at pale, P-A-I-L. Those are homonyms. They sound the same, but are spelled different, have different meanings. Aim, came, game. And then we have blame and shame. Ate, date, late. ATE added with onsets, plate and slate. And the high frequency of AY you can see in those two columns. You'll also notice there are four of the rhymes that end in that E marker, making that vowel long. We have one long E rhyme, E-A-T. So we have beat and heat and eat, but we also have eat and pleat. There's four long I rhymes, ice, I'd, ite, and ein. So we have dice and lice, but we also have slice. I'd, we have hide and ride. We also have slide and snide. IGHT, whenever we see that IGH, it is a long I. So in case of the word like sigh, S-I-G-H, it's the long vowel sound. But we have light and fright and the more complex words. Also, you'll notice in that same pattern, night, K-N-I-G-H-T, and night, N-I-G-H-T, sound the same, spelled different, mean different things. And then ein, dine, nine, fine. And then we have shrine and twine. And these are our last rhymes to look at. There is one long O rhyme, oak. So we have joke and poke, but we also have bloke and smoke. We have one vowel digraph rhyme, aw, jaw, and paw, but we also have flaw and straw. And then the R controlled rhyme is O-R-E. And the O-R controlled vowel is the easiest for students to learn because it says its name. It says or. So we have or and core. We also have chore and snore. So where else can you find words? The academic word list, and I have the link there, and Minda has shared these with you, was developed by Avril Coxhead. And she looked at college texts, and you're probably thinking, college texts, we're working with young students here. But it tells you the high frequency of these word families that take us all the way into higher level text. And of the 570 words on that list, 343 are among those 4,000 simple word families that can be seen frequently in the English language. When you click on the link, this is what you'll see, academic word list. It tells you about her work. And then if you click that blue bar, academic word list, you will get the entire PDF of words. And these are sorted in alphabetical order, and you can pull through as you need to some of the words. There's core that we just talked about, C-O-R-E. But they're also in there, these root words with their basic inflections of adding S, E, D, and I-N-G. It's covering over 90% of text students encounter, and these are highly actionable for teaching core vocabulary and being able to sound these words out. They're organized by zones of appearance. Zone 1 are the 310 most frequent words that she found. The, and, you, to. Simple words that we're going to want to make sure students know as a high frequency word. One that you see regularly in print and can immediately access the knowledge of that word when you see it. Then there's 620 highly frequent words like around, amazing, answer. And then in the next zones, we get into that same thing we talked about, tier 2 and tier 3 words. There is the link for that. You also have this link, and you can get to this list of the 4,000 simple word families. If it has a 1 next to it, it's the list that's most frequent. So we see A has one next to it. If you look down in that list, about has a one. If we look at the column next to it, we see across has a one. If you look on the end, you see again has a one. So those are by high frequency, and you are invited to download and keep this list. And what I would do if I were you is to get this list and print it out and then use a highlighter and highlight all those number one high frequent, most frequent words that you can pull into your lessons. There's additional free resources at that text project. There are some decodable texts. This is one, a drip in the sink, drip, drip, drip. What is that? It is a drip in the sink. Can we fix the drip? Yes, we can. Turn off the tap. Now there is no more drip. And so we'll look at the rhyme families in just this short little poem, ip, ink, ap, at, and all these high frequency words that appear as well in the poem. They also have these nonfiction decodables. And this one is called a hat or a cap. And when you actually go to the link, it turns the pages of the book, and it sounds like you're flipping pages. It's very interactive, and it's fun to take a look at. The texts are very simple. The Texas Inclusion Phonogram List is very useful. This is another one. You go to the link. It's a free PDF. You download it. It introduces, reviews, phonograms. It has reading words that have those phonograms. And then it even has some practice games for you to tap into. Again, all free. The list of those high frequency phonograms in this Texas inclusion list are body rhyme units. So those rhymes that we're talking about, the vowel in a syllable and the letters after it, and then the onset, like we were talking about, ok, we have sock, but we also have clock. And they've done this frequency list of using words for students of grades 1 to 5. And this is on the page and explains to you the phonograms and what they have chosen. So when you click on that, you will get something like this. It's a long document. I've selected just the AN for you to look at. And you see they've got the brev over the A to tell you it's the short A. Gives you one syllable words with the phonogram. There's 13. And at the end of the word, and, tan, van, can, not at the end of the word, and. So this is interesting because and often comes up as, well, that's a high frequency word and we just have to have students memorize them. But guess what? It fits within those patterns that we're studying. Longer words, they do note that they limit the list to 100 words, but you can see how many places the and lands in words. This is a very useful page for you as well. It's called The Logic of English, and there is help with pronunciation. And when you go to that link, this is an interactive chart. So if I click on AI, it's going to sound out for me the AI sound, A, like in laid. If I click on consonants, then it will pronounce the consonants for me. If I click on R controlled, it will pronounce the R controlled vowel words for me, the sound of those R controls. It has 75 of the most common phonograms here. Most of them, of course, will appear in a lot of primary words. So this is useful to go to click on and listen. And now I want to give you a little sneak peek. This is a book that David and I have coming out next month. It's called the Phonics Handbook Poetry Collection. And David wrote 101 decodable poems. And I would say, David, write a poem about the AIM rhyme family. And he would come up with a poem such as this. If you go to my website, this particular poem is also recorded for you. My name. When I was born, how did they know my name? How did they know? It was really me who came. If they called me someone else that day, would I be the same wonderful me today? You know, it's okay to feel like this as we go through the sessions together. I know you feel like you're spinning a lot of plates and trying to do a lot all at the same time. But educational change is better with support from others. And we are here for you. So hopefully you feel like we're that support as you go through and make these changes and update and explore these new ideas. Thanks. See you next time.
Okay, let me just get this off here. I really do hope, dear teachers, that you enjoyed that thoroughly. I did. I'm very thankful for what all the research that these wonderful coaches and teachers have done to share these amazing things with us. I just quickly want to mention a few things that Prof. Mary Jo talked about. And the first thing is, yes, I'm sure most of us feel like we're trying to juggle a few things and keep a few things in the air together all at once. But not to worry. The more we use these things, the more we actually will be learning. And the easier it becomes to use them in your classrooms. I quickly want to just give you a few ideas. Working with these word families can be so incredibly good for your learners, helping them to understand new words and learn new words, and to see how language actually works in patterns. And there's a lot of games that you can play. If you are not on Pinterest, do get on there and go and check out rhyme family worksheets or rhyme families games, and you will find a lot of very easy to use um, um, things in those documents on Pinterest. I wanted to just quickly say, I saw somebody using that four across game and just having some families at the top, and then you can build new words as you throw in the four across plastic. And then also mini flipboards, mini flipboards or mini flip books can work very, very well. Or even just trying to use some rhyme sliders. Those are also available on the Pinterest. You'll be able to find them there. And those rhyme sliders you can use in a new with a new sound every time. And that can also be a lot of fun. And remember, don't just build the words. If the kids are learning new words, let them use the words. As we said in the beginning of our session today, it's very, very important that they learn how to write. And when we are working with these rhyme families, it leans itself to poems, to creating new poetry. So that is why working together, our teachers are creating amazing resources for teachers all across the globe. I was thinking of even stickers. You can use those, little sticker papers. You can use those as well. Maybe write the rhyme family and then just have some extra cards with the beginning sounds that can be used in your exercises or games that you're going to play in the class with those different words. And have the class maybe write a rhyme together with some of these words that you are working with in the classroom. And dear teachers, also the links that Mary Jo have talked about in our video, those are all in your participant materials. So you'll be able to find those links there, and you have received it as a PDF. So you'll be able to click on it in the PDF, and it will take you straight to those websites. And use those. I was thinking by myself, if you have 310 words that are words that are used a lot of the time, 30 school weeks, 10 words a week. And by the end of the year, your children would have learned a lot of new words. And when you choose those words accurately, like Prof. Mary Jo now shared with us, when you use them accurately, you'll be able, or your learners will be able to build a lot of new words just using these skills that we're actually training them in while we are teaching phonics and playing games in the classroom. How cool is that? And yeah, so I think it's important that we know how to teach the sounds, and then also that we know how to choose the correct words to teach these sounds with so that you can go further with what you know. How amazing is it that so many of these words are being used right up to tertiary level, college level? So this is really invaluable training for our learners. And imagine when they know these words and they find them in a new text, it's going to help them so much when they have to read for meaning. And that's how we get from phonics to meaning. And it doesn't have to be such a big challenge. Remember what I said just now, the more you use these exercises, the more you use these games, the more you use these patterns in your classroom, the easier it becomes for you as a teacher and for your learners. So by next year, this time, oh my goodness, just think where you will be. I spoke to somebody last week, and we talked about the fact that you don't have to change a lot now, but if you can change a small thing every day, by the end of the year, you are going to be so much further than when you were today, where you are today. Okay, so yes, that is our session for today. I'm going to try and really, teachers, please do send me some feedback and videos. I want to hear from you, and your presenters from the US are very excited to hear from you. Please be reminded, take a quick video, maybe of some of the learners in the class, if you have the authority to do that, if you are able to do that, or maybe just share a quick WhatsApp note, even a voice note, on what is really something that has helped you just in this past few weeks that we've been busy to learn more about phonics and fluency together. Send that to me, and we'd love to hear that. Okay, I think that is our session for today. Um, I'm so thankful for those of you who have joined us. I know our sessions have been shorter the past few, but the information that you're receiving are so much. So I hope you use the extra time right now and maybe plan something fun. It's almost end of the term, and you will have some time during the holidays, but we still have one more session before it is holiday. So I just want to make sure that we'll be seeing one another for session 7 on the 23rd of June. So watch out for those mails and keep your eyes peeled on the WhatsApp group. We look forward to seeing you then online. Thank you so much for joining us today, everyone. And you must have a lovely, lovely rest of the day. Goodbye.